If you've been told your high cholesterol is just genetics, it can make you feel like your only option is to go on a statin. And it's frustrating, especially if you're eating healthy and exercising. For decades, the message has been if high cholesterol runs in your family and it doesn't improve with diet, it must be your genetics. But new research is painting a very different picture, one where your gut microbiome plays a much bigger role than your DNA. This condition has a name, metabolic endotoxemia, and it might be the missing link explaining why even health conscious people struggle with high cholesterol. Let's break down what it is, why it matters, and what you can do about it. I'm Amanda, a registered dietitian with a master's in nutrition and functional medicine. As a practitioner who helps clients heal gut driven inflammation, I see this all the time. One client recently came to me completely confused. She was eating a low carb diet, working out regularly, and taking great care of herself. Her cholesterol was still high. Her doctor said it was probably her genetics and wanted her on a statin. But she didn't want to go on a statin. That's actually why she came to work with me. She wanted to understand what was driving her numbers and how she could fix it. When we ran a microbiome test, the reality became clear. It wasn't her genes, it was chronic inflammation from her gut caused by an overgrowth of bad bacteria silently pushing her cholesterol higher. LPS stands for lipopolysaccharide. It's a toxin made by certain types of bacteria in your gut. When it stays in your digestive tract, LPS is harmless and it's eliminated with your stool. But if your gut lining is weak, a condition called leaky gut, LPS can slip into your bloodstream, and that's where the trouble begins. Once it gets into your bloodstream, it causes inflammation and it elevates your cholesterol. So, I want to explain how this works. Your gut is home to both helpful and harmful microbes. Good bacteria like bifidobacteria and fecalibacterium turn the fiber that you eat into anti inflammatory compounds that keep your gut lining strong. Bad bacteria like proteobacteria can crank out LPS. And if your microbiome is out of balance, meaning these harmful bacteria are overgrown, you will produce more LPS and more of it can leak into your bloodstream, especially if your gut lining is permeable. That's how metabolic endotoxemia starts. It's a constant low grade fire of inflammation that spreads beyond your gut and it actually affects your entire body. And here's what's wild, even healthy foods can trigger inflammation in someone with metabolic endotoxemia. It's not the food itself. When you have metabolic endotoxemia, saturated fat actually increases the absorption of LPS, allowing more of those toxins to enter your bloodstream. And if your gut barrier is leaky, that's going to compound the problem, sparking more inflammation. So, that trendy high fat smoothie with MCT oil and nut butter, it might energize one person, but leave another feeling bloated, foggy, and fatigued simply because their microbiome and gut lining are in different states. Same meal, different microbiome, different response. If your microbiome is out of balance and LPS is leaking into your bloodstream, you may notice symptoms like high blood sugar or insulin, bloating after meals, fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, irritability, anxiety or depression, skin issues like acne or eczema, water retention, weight gain that doesn't budge, joint pain and stiffness, and hormonal issues. For women, PCOS or endometriosis. For men, low testosterone. And yes, cholesterol that stays high no matter how healthy you eat. So here's something your doctor probably hasn't told you. When LPS enters your bloodstream, your body sends in cholesterol rich particles, especially LDL, to help neutralize the toxins. That means your LDL may go up, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your liver is trying to protect you. So if you have gut driven inflammation, your body raises cholesterol as a defense mechanism. The beautiful thing is, it's trying to keep you safe. And this all comes down to a disrupted gut microbiome, which can happen from taking antibiotics, eating a low fiber diet, dealing with chronic stress, eating a lot of food additives, or even certain medications can actually drive it. So, LPS doesn't just affect your gut and cholesterol, it also affects your mood and your brain. It hijacks how your body uses tryptophan, the amino acid that makes serotonin. Instead of turning tryptophan into feel good serotonin, your body diverts it into a chemical called quinolinic acid, which fuels pain, depression, and brain fog. This is one reason gut issues and mental health are so deeply interconnected. Now, there's no simple lab test that can diagnose endotoxemia outright, but by combining a few key tests, you can get a much clearer picture to understand if you're dealing with this type of inflammation. So, gut microbiome testing is a great place to start. Stool tests that use whole genome sequencing or 16S RNA, like BiomeSite, can measure the extent to which LPS producing bacteria are overgrown in your gut. Most reports will include an LPS score that shows your potential risk, and you'll also want to look out for red flags like proteobacteria levels that are over 4%, Bacteroidetes that's over 35%, Fusobacteria over 0.01%, and then low levels of your beneficial species like Bifido and Akkermansia, because those are the ones that protect your gut lining. So, microbiome testing pairs really well with a test called Cyrix Array 2. This test detects antibodies to LPS in your blood, essentially confirming whether these toxins have slipped through your gut barrier and activated your immune system. So, this helps us distinguish between the potential for endotoxemia and active endotoxemia. If you're dealing with symptoms like depression, brain fog, or chronic fatigue, then the NutriVal can help you connect those dots. It looks at how inflammation affects your nervous system. And that key marker I talked about before, quinolinic acid, if that's elevated, it means your body's converting tryptophan into that chemical that can worsen mood and increase pain. So, fixing high cholesterol in this case isn't about forcing it down with statins or supplements. It's about healing your gut so LPS levels drop and your cholesterol normalizes naturally. So, here's the plan: find out if LPS is the problem, then reduce LPS producing bacteria, and strengthen your gut lining. This framework guides the entire healing process. So, how do you strengthen your gut lining? Glutamine, which is rich in bone broth, butyrate, which a healthy microbiome should be producing, but you can supplement with if yours is low, vitamin D. You want to feed your good bacteria with polyphenol rich foods like black beans, berries, cabbage, olives, and you want to avoid things that enhance LPS absorption, like ibuprofen and NSAIDs, alcohol, artificial sweeteners, ultra processed foods. And then you want to support your body's natural production of something called intestinal alkaline phosphatase. This is a really cool enzyme that actually helps you neutralize LPS before it reaches your bloodstream. And it's an important part of the strategy to reduce LPS absorption. You can naturally increase intestinal alkaline phosphatase by getting enough vitamin D, eating your omega 3s, and enjoying spices like ginger, black pepper, hot peppers, and turmeric. And one of my favorite ways is coffee. It actually increases intestinal alkaline phosphatase. You also want to support your liver with eating plenty of cruciferous vegetables and maybe even using supplements like milk thistle if that's appropriate and safe for you. Ensure that you're having your daily bowel movement because if you're constipated, LPS is going to recirculate and compound the entire problem. So, I hope this video has helped you see that high cholesterol isn't a life sentence. Inflammation can be reduced. And when we go beyond symptom management to address the root cause, true healing becomes possible. For many people, that begins in the gut. If you want to know how your microbiome might be shaping your health, see the description box below for several ways we can work together.